What's up, guys? I'm working on the 1999 Mercedes-Benz S420 once again. I've had a hard start issue for a while now. Usually it takes 2 or 3 times to start the car. Starts a little better once it's, after it starts the first time, but it still has the issue. I assumed it was maybe some ignition coils, so I went ahead and replaced the 5 that seemed to be old. But after getting this fuel pressure gauge, this tester right here, I confirmed it's a fuel issue. So what's happening is I'm not holding fuel pressure. So I'll show you what happens. So I'm inside the car. The ignition's off right now. I'm gonna turn it to position 2. The fuel pump's supposed to run for a second to build up fuel pressure, and then it shuts off until I start cranking the engine. So here we go. Builds up fuel pressure. As soon as it shuts off, it's gone. Right? When I crank, I have fuel pressure. It runs right around 50 psi. And then when I turn it off, immediately to 0. So it's one of 2 things, or I guess one of a few things really. I could have leaky fuel injectors or the seals around there, but I took the covers off. I don't see any leaks, right? And it's also dropping pretty fast. So it kind of leads me to believe it's the check valve on the fuel pump. I did replace the fuel pump when I did the fuel filter because the car was sitting for quite a few years. I used this part, Euro, so it's an aftermarket pump. Luckily, I still have the OEM Pierberg pump, and I'm gonna go ahead and swap that out and see if that helps. But there should be a check valve in this pump. If it's not that, there's the fuel pressure regulator right here, and you order a new one, they're about $30, and there's that circlip right there. So just take some circlip pliers and remove the circlip. It should pop out, spring loaded. Remove the hose, take the old one out, put the new one in, and it's as simple as that. But if this one leaks, I guess there's a return line for the fuel, and if that has an issue right there, it could be bleeding the pressure out of the fuel rail and into the return line, which would cause it to go to 0 that fast. So I'm gonna go ahead and change those. Right, so I just changed the fuel pump back to the Pierberg, which is the original one that I had in there, to check the check valve. And after I turned the car on and ran, it's off now and it's holding 31, 32 psi, whereas before it was dropping to 0. So let me see what happens when I prime it. Jumps up to 55, drops down to 40, and it's holding 40. And when I go to crank it, right around 50. It's running a lot better, starts up better. Turn the car off, back to 30. So I'm gonna leave it for about 30 minutes to an hour, see what the pressure's doing. But right now 30, 32. If I'm still around there within 30 minutes to an hour, then I should be good, because now the fuel rail and the fuel pump are holding the pressure. So it seems like it was the check valve and the fuel pump. I wanted to show you, this is that gauge. I got it from Napa, $50. And it just hooks up right here underneath this cover. You don't have to take the rest of this off. I just took it off so I can see what was going on with the O-rings around the injectors. But I hope this helps whoever needs it. Good luck with your problems, and I'll see you guys next time.